Tonight on TV2 News, a look into the gathering ordinance being fast-tracked into place by the City of Kent. What you need to know ahead of the Halloween weekend.
The countdown is on. We're just 1 week away from millions casting their ballots in a record-breaking 2020 election. TV2's got you covered with the latest updates.
And a first-hand look into a massive human trafficking sting out of Columbus. Over 100 victims rescued and nearly 200 arrests made.
And Hurricane Zeta makes landfall. The Category 1 hurricane brings with it heavy rain and possible storm surges. But will Ohio feel any of its effects? The answer coming up on TV2 News.
This is TV2 News.
Good Tuesday evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Maddy Haberberger.
And I'm Rachel Gross.
Now, we're all in the Halloween spirit here on TV2 with our cheetah outfits tonight, but Halloween in Kent is going to look a little different this year.
That's right. The City of Kent expedited an ordinance that was originally supposed to go into effect in November to be effective immediately, and it might affect your weekend plans.
That's right. Our Alexandria Manthey has more. Hi, Alex.
Hi, guys. A few weeks back, Kent City Council approved a new ordinance limiting gatherings in the city to only 10 people, slated to go into effect in November. Well, they've now fast-tracked that ordinance to go into effect right before the Halloween weekend. The City of Kent issued a mass gathering order of 10 people, usually active after 30 days, but the circumstances have now changed.
At last week's City Council meeting, they revisited that, and they were able to kind of get that emergency enacted where it will be effective immediately.
With this mass gathering ban being pushed up on the calendar, it now encompasses Halloween weekend. The City of Kent is expecting to have a different celebration this year due to limiting this contact.
Now, the problems that we have had in the past years is the younger crowd that comes for the house parties.
The Kent Police Department is not in charge of enforcing this ordinance. Instead, that responsibility falls on the Kent Health Department.
We're not the 10-person police, and we're not the mask police. So the health department will address that, and if they get considerable pushback from the people who are there, they will call the police for support, and we will back them up.
The health department can issue a civil citation with a $500 fine. After 10 days, this racks up to $750, and if it is not paid within 30 days, the fine can reach $1,000. And if fined, the university may become aware of this citation.
And I've always said it this way: what happens between you and the Kent Police Department doesn't necessarily stay between you and the Kent Police or the Kent Municipal Court. You as a student at the university, you're always held and bound by your student code of conduct.
Lieutenant Lewis has some advice for those at home who wish to celebrate this weekend.
Be responsible. Do the right thing. We know that these are very, very difficult times. These ordinances have been enacted for a good reason.
Now, last week, Kent State and the Kent City Police Department did release a statement strongly discouraging any outside visitors to the area and any gatherings over the upcoming Halloween weekend. If caught, you can receive a fine upwards of $500. In the TV2 Franklin Hall newsroom, I'm Alexandria Manthey.
Thanks, Alex. And right here, people are lining up at the Board of Election to cast their vote before Election Day on November 3rd.
Pre-election voting for the November election has surpassed all pre-election 2016 ballots casted.
Over 60 million Americans have voted so far, and 33 states have surpassed their pre-election totals from 2016.
And in 14 states crucial to the winner of this election, voters below the age of 30 have seen increases in their share of the early vote compared to this point 4 years ago.
Judge Amy Coney Barrett is now Associate Justice Barrett. Barrett was sworn into the High Court today, making her the 115th justice to ever serve on the bench of the Supreme Court. And in this aftermath, President Donald Trump and Democratic candidate Joe Biden are hitting the campaign trail in crucial electoral states, just 7 days before Americans make their decision.
Even with a second coronavirus outbreak at the White House, President Trump held a swear-in Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. While guests were more socially distanced and required to wear masks, the event looked similar to the September superspreader gathering in the Rose Garden, after which the president and at least a dozen others in attendance tested positive. Missing from the night, Vice President Mike Pence, who still traveled to Minnesota for a crowded rally Monday, just days after multiple members of his team reportedly tested positive for coronavirus. The president's Supreme Court celebration the same day as his 3-stop tour across Pennsylvania. Trump using campaign rallies without social distancing and few masks to continue to lie about the pandemic beginning to ease as the country sees the most new cases in any week.
We're rounding the turn. You know, all they want to talk about is COVID. By the way, on November 4th, you won't be hearing so much about it. COVID.
Also in Pennsylvania, former Vice President Joe Biden making an unannounced stop and condemning Trump's handling of the coronavirus crisis.
The bottom line is Donald Trump is the worst possible president, the worst possible person to try to lead us through this pandemic. And I don't think he just either doesn't have any idea what to do or he just doesn't care.
As the Trump campaign plans to visit states like Michigan and Arizona this week, Biden announced he'll be on the road too, splitting the map with his running mate Kamala Harris to cover more ground in battleground states and beyond.
We're going to be traveling, continue to travel, but the big difference between us and the reason why it looks like we're not traveling, we're not putting on super spreaders.
And as Election Day crawls nearer, USA Today reports that Facebook signed up a record 4.4 million people to vote. Zuckerberg says the platform launched the voting campaign with the goal of helping 4 million people register. And Facebook says it's not over. The numbers could keep growing. Online registration is still open in multiple states, and Facebook is still running notifications. And TV2 is your source for election coverage. Our election show is at 8:30 next Tuesday evening, so stick with us for live coverage on the presidential election, along with Portage County's issues, candidates, and more.
Hello, Portage County, and welcome back to your TV2 News weather broadcast. I hope this cold and rainy weather isn't dampening anyone's spirits because we are in the week leading up to the spookiest night of the year. I don't know about you, but I sure am excited. This is the kind of weather that we have in store, and for the rest of the night, we'll take a deep dive into what you can expect come this weekend for Halloween. Currently in Kent, it is 58 degrees and then 91% humidity. It does add a little bit of sprinkling here and there, which makes it feel much colder at 44. Winds coming in from the southeast at 7 miles per hour, and as you can see from the radar here, we will be experiencing more rain throughout the night as it crosses over into Cleveland, but it does start to dissipate throughout the night. Around 1 a.m. we should see clearer conditions, and as you can see, the rest of Ohio is experiencing pretty much the same weather as we are. 58 in Ashtabula, 60 in Mansfield, 57 in Youngstown, 58 right here in Kent as of what you can expect for tonight. Let me tell you, while it might be a wet and slightly rainy night tonight, tomorrow, come at sunrise, 6 a.m., we will see a much more of the sun. Mostly cloudy throughout the night, pop-up showers here and there, but less than 1/10 of an inch collectively throughout the night for Portage County. 7:53 for that sunrise, and you can catch tonight's sunset at 7:25. Now, that does it for your current forecast conditions. From your style and weatherman, Dan, stick around for the 7-day projections to see how your Halloween night will be spent. As for now, let's turn it right back to Rachel for the pre-tense open spring.
Thanks, Dan. And good news for gluten-free students on campus. After different dining closures throughout this fall semester, Prentice Cafe is set to reopen in spring 2021. Prentice Cafe was Kent State's gluten-free dining hall, and when it opened in 2016, it was the first of its kind in the nation. The cafe closed down for the fall semester as the university implemented new dining options.
And it was announced this afternoon that Dr. Melody Tankersley is Kent State University's new Senior Vice President and Provost. Tankersley has been with the university for 27 years. She served as the interim Senior VP and Provost since 2019. President Deichen praised Tankersley as a strong administrator, particularly in her handling of the university's response to the onset of the pandemic, where she oversaw the school's effort to convert nearly 9,000 courses to remote instruction. Her appointment marks the end of an 8-month national search process.
Authorities rescued 45 children from human trafficking right here in Ohio. The life-saving mission and what parents should look for when we return.
Nearly 2 decades after the 9/11 terrorist attacks, first responders are seeing millions of dollars in relief funds. The details of the refunds coming up.
Get into the upcoming holiday party spirit with Bud Light's newest addition to their seltzers. When the new flavors will be available, we'll be back in 90 seconds.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
What to expect when you're expecting
Like here.
a teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
3 months ago, there weren't enough masks. We were desperately sourcing from all over the world. People were making face coverings from scarves, bandanas, and bits of fabric. Now there are plenty of masks, but some people don't want to wear them. Come on. Mask up, America.
Thanks for sticking with us. Now, Kent State released its updated COVID-19 numbers today for the week of October 18th. The university reported 66 new coronavirus cases linked to the campus. In total, KSU has seen 348 cases arise since they began tracking the virus on July 7th.
And now a look at the rest of Ohio. The state reported 2,500 new cases today and 22 new deaths. Hospitalizations saw an increase of 128 in the state. In total, Ohio has reported 202,740 cases and 5,239 deaths since the onset of the pandemic. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced a new coronavirus game plan today, focusing on community efforts rather than business lockdown. DeWine addresses increasing coronavirus cases on Ohioans attending game day watch parties, wedding receptions, crowded bars, house parties, and large family gatherings, and not wearing masks or social distancing.
An 18-year-old freshman at the University of Dayton died from complications of COVID-19 last week. University officials said Michael Lang, a student in the College of Arts and Sciences from Illinois, died on Thursday following a lengthy hospitalization. He left campus on September 13th to return home for remote instruction. According to UD's COVID-19 dashboard, there are currently 34 active cases on campus and a total of 1,417 cases since August 10th.
Hurricane Zeta has now officially made landfall on the Yucatan Peninsula. Its winds are estimated at 80 miles per hour as a Category 1 hurricane. Zeta is expected to travel through the Gulf of Mexico, making its way towards Louisiana as early as Thursday. Already, Louisiana's governor has issued an emergency declaration, and more than 1,000 National Guardsmen have been activated.
I'm hoping that Zeta won't interfere too much with Halloween, because I remember that it was super rainy and gross last year.
Yeah, it did, but we can find out all of the answers if we ask our favorite weatherman, Dan Snyder.
Oh, yes. I remember it did rain last year on Halloween. I was really disappointed by that. However, this year we may get lucky and see clear conditions in the sky. And as we can see, Zeta current predicted path will come the closest to our proximity about late Thursday night. By Friday, we will see some of those residual showers sweep up from the southeast, but by mid-Friday, we should be in the clear for nights of frights and spookiness. Luckily, we could thank a large pressure front that will be blowing down from the Great Lakes that will couple with a jet and low partisanship to push that storm out back over the ocean. And as we dip into statewide temperatures, you can see it's 50 in Cincinnati, 56 in Dayton, 59 in Lima. They're trying to grip onto that last little bit of warm weather before it gets a little bit colder, which unfortunately is Ohio. That snow is coming. We know it is. As we can see for our hourly 9 o'clock tonight, we will see some more rain showers going into midnight, though. The temperatures will drop down to 44. That will be the low for the night. Skies will clear up. And as for 6 a.m., you could start your day off with those partly cloudy skies. Low of 45 for tomorrow, and the day only gets warmer. Now we move on to that 7-day forecast to see how you're going to spend your plans. Tomorrow we will see 77% chance of rain as precipitation starts to skyrocket. 59 for a low, 39 for a low, 49 for a high. Drops even lower on Friday, 30 for a low, 44 for a high, but we will start to see more sunshine popping out, and thank goodness, because that's when Halloween is coming around. Saturday, as luck would have it, it will be clear conditions with a slightly warmer 50 degrees. It won't be anything picturesque like it was last Friday, but hey, can't really ask for more than it not to rain on Halloween. 51 on Sunday with some morning showers clearing up in the PM. Monday, you could start off with 30-mile-per-hour gusts of wind, but slightly warmer. Luckily, if you're working from home, you won't have to deal with those high winds. And we settle off on Tuesday, 58 for a high, 42 for a low with 30-mile-per-hour gust of winds. I mean, the wind just doesn't want to stop, and it's always been a pleasure and an honor to be with you here tonight on TV2 News. Have a wonderful week, Portage County, and a happy Halloween. And as always, be safe, have fun, and enjoy this beautiful thing we call life. We don't get much of it. Dan Snyder with TV2 News. Back to you.
Thanks, Dan. Now, authorities have recovered 45 missing children in Ohio as part of an operation targeting human trafficking. In all, more than 100 victims were rescued, and officials made 177 arrests in Operation Autumn Hope.
And our goal is to make survivors of each and every one of them.
In a 3-day sting, Columbus police focused on the west side, Linden, Sullivan, and Parsons Avenues, looking for victims of human trafficking and Johns. Undercover officers worked with uniformed officers who would make the arrests.
These arrests are symptoms of a bigger problem. Addiction is very intertwined with prostitution and other offenses in the area.
10 TV cameras were invited to go out with Columbus police during the operation. Well, this is the second year for this type of roundup. It's the first for Columbus Police PACT, or Police and Community Together unit. Columbus Police Deputy Chief Jennifer Knight says the focus is on getting the women the help they need and getting them off the streets.
We can push them towards catch court in larger groups. We can be even more effective when we marshal all of the support that we have for this issue, and it has shown to be very productive.
Groups like REACT and forensic nurses were also on hand as the women were arrested. They were given a meal and any medical treatment they needed. They were also offered help with any addictions. Ruth Downing is a forensic nurse and says these women won't go to a hospital to get the medical care they need.
Victims of violence have for many years not received the care that they need.
During the operation, Columbus police made 80 arrests and recovered several guns. Of those arrests, 50 were from the PACT unit, including 40 women and 10 men.
Yeah, I think it's a much bigger problem than we expect.
The Franklin County Sheriff's Office Internet Crimes Against Children unit also arrested 8. Across the state, 22 were arrested trying to have sex with a child.
Even in an era where human trafficking enforcement is on the upswing and people know that others have been arrested for it.
Over 30 police officers have been injured in riots following a fatal police shooting in Philadelphia. Police responded to a domestic call just before 4 yesterday afternoon, where reports say 27-year-old Walter Wallace was armed with a knife. Video shows officers yelling for him to put the knife down, then shooting him multiple times. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Officials say they're continuing to investigate the incident.
A federal judge has rejected the Justice Department's attempt to defend President Trump in the E. Jean Carroll rape defamation case, allowing to move forward. Carroll, a longtime magazine columnist, says Trump raped her in a department store dressing room in the 90s. Trump denied the allegation that gave rise to Carroll's defamation lawsuit, alleging Trump's statements hurt her reputation. The DOJ had sought to substitute itself as defendant in the case. If it hadn't been banned, the move likely would have ended the proceedings, since the federal government can't be sued for defamation.
The United States and India have announced the signing of a new defense arrangement. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper explained the agreement will allow both countries to share information between their armed forces, increase defensive trade, and advance cooperation in the face of China's growing influence. Pompeo used the opportunity to call out China's aggression at the India-China border.
Our leaders and our citizens see with increasing clarity that the CCP is no friend to democracy, the rule of law, transparency, nor to freedom of navigation, the foundation of a free and open and prosperous Indo-Pacific. I'm glad to say that the United States and India are taking steps to strengthen our cooperation against all manner of threats.
Game 6 of the World Series is tonight. Who has the edge in the matchup? I'll have that and more next in sports.
Into the holiday spirits, TV2 returns in just 90 seconds.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear. Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Now we are in the thick of football season right now, go Steelers, but baseball season is coming to a close.
That's right, Game 6 of the World Series is tonight. Here with a preview of the matchup and other news from the world of sports is Jack Berney. Hi, Jack.
Thanks, Maddie and Rachel, and hello to you, Portage County. I'm Jack Berney with your TV2 Sports Report. A star college football quarterback has tested positive for COVID-19. That's where we start today. Wisconsin redshirt freshman quarterback Graham Mertz, who had a breakout game with 5 touchdowns last week against Illinois, has tested positive for COVID-19 and will miss at least 3 weeks. Big Ten protocols require a player who has tested positive to sit out for at least 21 days before they are eligible to return to action. Now, this is a big loss for the number 9 Badgers, who are now down to their 4th-string quarterback Danny Van Den Boom for this week's game against Nebraska, and Mertz will also miss games against Purdue and Michigan. From college football to NFL football, the 5-1 Bears took on the 4-2 Rams last night in La La Land. Something had to give, right? Let's go to LA. Aaron Donald and Nick Foles getting ready for this big-time matchup. We pick things up in the first quarter. Jared Goff is going to find a wide-open Josh Reynolds for the early score. The Rams take a 7-0 lead, and the Rams just kept on pushing it as Malcolm Brown barrels his way into the end zone. He says, "Get off me," to that defender, and the Rams extend the lead to 17-3, but the Bears are trying to get back into it. Nick Foles rolls to his left, fires it up, but the Rams defense says, "Not so fast." As they get the interception, the Rams take over, and they would cash in. Jared Goff drops back, finds Gerald Everett, who's going to walk his way into the end zone for the touchdown. The Rams extend the lead to 24-3. But here comes the Bears. Robert Woods fumbles, and Eddie Jackson picks it up for the scoop and score. The Bears defense makes a play and cuts the lead to 24-10. But in the end, the Rams made plays that it mattered as Jalen Ramsey intercepts Nick Foles' pass, and the Rams cement their victory. They move to 5-2 and into a 3-way tie for first place in the NFC West. Game 6 of the World Series is tonight, and the stakes could not be any higher. With the win, the Rays would force a Game 7 and move one step closer to their first ever title. If the Dodgers win tonight, they will be crowned World Series champs for the 7th time, and for the first time since 1988. I think the Rays will take the win tonight and force a Game 7 because Blake Snell is on the mound for them. Snell pitched Game 2 of this series and had a no-hitter through 4.2 innings before only giving up 2 runs and striking out 9 batters. The key for both teams tonight is simple: score first. In this series, the team that has scored first has won 4 out of the 5 games played. It should be a good matchup tonight. Now, Game 6 of the World Series is tonight at 8:10 p.m. I know I'm tuning in. I picked the Dodgers in 7, and I'm sticking with that pick. That is all I have for sports today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Back to you guys with more news.
Thanks, Jack. Now, the most wonderful time of the year is also the busiest time of the year for Amazon, who is adding 100,000 seasonal jobs and promoted 35,000 current workers. The seasonal gigs include everything from picking, packing, shipping, and delivering customer orders, working in human resources, operating robotics, and a partridge in a pear tree. But really, there are a number of options, both full-time and part-time. For more information, visit amazondelivers.jobs.
The Treasury Department announced it is refunding close to $4 million that was previously withheld from a healthcare program that assisted those who rescued 9/11 attack victims. The Treasury Department says a profound debt of gratitude is owed to those first responders. The program helps provide physical and mental health services to all active and retired FDNY members who responded to the 9/11 attacks at no cost to the program members.
MJ Eckhouse, a 2018 Kent State graduate and former editor of Fusion magazine, passed away last week at the age of 29. Eckhouse spent 2 years as the editor of Fusion and was a known LGBTQ activist within the Kent community, helping to pass inclusive non-discrimination protections at the university. Our thoughts and prayers go out to MJ's family.
When you think of festive holiday drinks, you might think eggnog or hot chocolate, but Bud Light wants to change that. A look at their new holiday seltzers when we return.
And a look at TV2's entertainment department. What does the Blurb have in store for tonight? And what fundraiser is being planned for November 7th? Find out after the break.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Bud Light Seltzer is getting into the holiday spirit with 3 new festive flavors. They're Apple Crisp, Peppermint Patty, and Ginger Snap. They're being bundled into an ugly sweater variety pack with cranberry, which is an already existing flavor. The 12 packs are only available for a limited time beginning on Monday.
And TV2 Entertainment is gearing up for its annual Extra Life Telethon fundraiser. In preparation for the big event, here's a look at tonight's entertainment show, The Blurb, where anchors Caroline Webster and Ryan Policina discuss what pop superstar Harry Styles has been up to recently. Tonight, they'll highlight his new Golden music video, but here they discuss another project he'll soon be working on. Take a look.
Director Olivia Wilde recently directed last summer's hit Booksmart and is now going to be directing another movie. This one is a psychological thriller centering on an unhappy housewife in the 1950s. So Harry Styles is confirmed to star as the husband alongside Florence Pugh from Little Women and Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades, Chris Pine, of course, from Star Trek and Wonder Woman. So really just an all-around gorgeous cast of people. Oh my gosh, my eyes are ready for it. Star-studded,
Olivia Wilde did an
beautiful.
awesome job with Booksmart. I'm excited for this movie.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a huge Harry Styles fan. Have you caught the Golden music video
I
yet?
have not, but I heard The Blurb's going to be talking about it tonight.
Tonight at 9, check it out. I'm a huge Harry Styles fan. I was thinking about maybe doing a little Harry Styles moment for Halloween, depending on the weather. So, Dan, how's it looking for me?
Well, as you can clearly see in this recap of the 7-day, you are looking at a weekend that should be nice and clear. Hurricane Zeta shouldn't really hit us too much as we have some winds coming off that Great Lake to push the storm to the east, missing us completely. We will see some winds in the aftercase, though. Looking at your weekend, though, I know that's what everyone's excited for. Friday night, you will be able to see temperatures be nice and pleasant, 50 degrees. Not too warm, not too cool, but something nice for going out and socially distancing party, hopefully. You guys be safe. Saturday, we will see, Saturday will be 50. Sunday, we will see some of the showers, though, so that'd be a nice day to stay in after celebrating your Halloween. If you're looking for costume ideas, I'd recommend being a doctor or a nurse. I mean, morally responsible. But that does it for your TV2 forecast, news, and weather. As always, I've been Dan Snyder, wishing you the best. Happy Halloween, everyone.
And that'll do it for tonight's edition of TV2 News. As always, thank you for being with us this evening.
For continuous updates and coverage on all things Kent State and Portage County, be sure to connect with us on social media at TV2KSU. I'm Rachel Gross.
And I'm Maddy Haberberger. We're here every night at 6, so we'll see you tomorrow.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns, like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero.
Good job, kitty cat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.